Do you know that 62% of phone calls to small businesses in America are not answered? When you first hear that number, it just seems shocking that nearly two-thirds of phone calls or messages inbound to that organization aren't responded to. Um, if you look at emails, it's probably way worse. Um, the and how that applies to the larger business segment, I'm not sure because it seems really odd to me. But for the businesses that I am most able to help, these are solo owner operators, typically running their business off of their cell phone. Um, and there's actually a logic to why these calls or text messages aren't responded to. The business owner is busy doing the business. They are actively working in the business still. And they can't get out of that feast or famine churn hamster wheel because they're the limiting factor on their business. The calls are coming into them. Meanwhile, they're a lawn care company, they're pushing the lawnmower. They're a plumber and they're underneath a sink. They're an electrician and they're crawling through an attic, snaking. They're pulling wire through an attic. Um, they're an accountant, a tax preparer, or a bookkeeper, and they have all their notifications turned off so that they can concentrate on getting the book straight for their client. And suddenly it starts making sense because they don't have a team, or if they have a team, it's a small team, less than 5 people, and all of them are actively working in the business, generating revenue. And these messages come in, and the idea is I'll get back to them. Well, by the time the end of the workday comes and the business owner is able to get back to these inbound messages, the person who needed their help has already gone on and found someone who would answer the phone, probably a larger organization with a full-time reception or call center. Or it's the end of the day and the owner's tired and they just got to go. They're thinking about all the things that need to be taken care of at home. They just want to go home and they'll deal with it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow has enough trouble of its own, to quote a Bible verse. And so when tomorrow comes, they're not going back and responding to the calls and the messages and texts and emails from yesterday. And maybe it's okay. But let's say, for sake of argument, the average inbound call would have been worth $1,000. But you would have only closed 10% of them. So it's $100. And if you miss 10 calls in a day, it's $100 a day that you missed out on. But $100 a day is $2,000 a month. And that's probably not life-changing income for the business, but it's stability for the business. And it's a virtuous cycle for the business. And the business has missed out because they simply didn't have a way to respond. And I'm going to flip this conversation on its head and say, and the other thing that's happened to every one of our small businesses is constant bombardment by people in my industry trying to sell, I can get you 10,000 Instagram followers. And none of us needs that 10,000 Instagram followers. Or, I see that you have poor SEO on your YouTube channel. Would you like me to do an SEO audit on your YouTube channel? And a myriad of other things that you should buy. And people trying to sell bookkeeping, and people trying to sell insurance, and people trying to sell this, that, or the other thing, all of which the business owner needs, but the business owner doesn't have time to sort through of all of the things, which ones are important to be dealt with now. So we have this need to respond to the inbound potential prospects, and we also have we also have solicitors that we somehow have to filter. And one way that business owners do it is they just don't answer the phone. They screen all their calls. What if I had a toolkit, almost a tool shed worth of capability that would help your small business owner friend respond to these incoming messages, nurture that conversation until the business owner has time to review what's going on and respond and engage that person. And at the same time, take these inbound solicitations and filter out which ones are bona fide interest and present those and run everything else to the trash can. I'm Keith. I'm the bald guy. I have small businesses with marketing, theory, tactics, techniques, training, and technology.